Welcome to Mobile Rolling. After the break, we'll be joined by not only one of South Australia's well-known identities, but known Australia-wide, the colourful Dominic Barbaro. Mobile Rolling followers, it's my pleasure to be here today with a well-known entrepreneur, owner, businessman, former committeeman, punter, just about everything. Dominic Barbaro, welcome to Mobile Rolling.
Thanks very much for having me here.
I suppose it's been a while since you've probably been involved in the harness racing. How long ago did you sort of, I know you were doing the programs and you had some interest at Globe Derby. How long since you've been at, or in following the game? I suppose you still have a bet now, but how long since you've been to the track or something like that?
I've followed harness racing, trotting as it was called, at Wavell. It's always been a passion of mine, I guess because I enjoy the punt. And
you still have a punt, Dom?
Not really. I haven't been.
Not to the level that you did it.
No, I hardly have a bet now, to be honest with you.
So, let's start at the start. You, I know the viewers probably won't believe this, but I believe you're 85. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I know that's probably was classified information, but it's out there now. So you were born in Adelaide in 1935?
Just off Hindley Street.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
And as a matter of fact, there was a funny story that I could tell you about that. I was in a hotel at Salisbury one night, and over in the corner there was 3 Aboriginal women who came just looking at over towards my way, and anyway, one of them came over and said, "You're one of us, aren't you?" And I said, "No, darling."
Not meaning a woman.
"No, darling." I said, I'm Italian." She said, "Where were you born?" "Birthplace, Adelaide," I said, which was the truth. She said, "I knew you all."
So that was 1935. So obviously you went to school. Where did you go to school? Where did you live in your younger days?
Lived in the city.
In the city?
Early, and went to St Dominic's Convent on West Terrace, and then went to Morris Brothers at Theberton, which was a technical school, and if ever anyone shouldn't have gone to a technical school, it was me. I was hopeless at woodwork, hopeless at metalwork. I made a bucket in metalwork, which took me a year, and every year the teacher would come out and tell me, "I got another stick of solder out of your bucket, Tom."
So did you play sport when you were younger?
Oh yes, loved sport.
What did you play? What was your...
Football, cricket.
Mm-hmm. Were you determined?
Beg your pardon?
Were you determined?
Very determined footballer.
Mm. So you obviously put a plate as a rover or back pocket. You wouldn't have been a ruckman, a little bit small for that?
I played as a rover, back pocket, but I was only half as good as I thought I was.
Oh, well, and it's funny, the older we get, the better we were when we were younger, they say. There's a lot of people that I've played footy against that weren't as good when I played that they think they are now. So, where did you didn't obviously go to university or anything? You just went and got a job. What was your career as from when you left school to?
Well, my career should really start at the school there. I went to a technical school, and I made a bucket, which the teacher assured me weighed heavier when it was empty than when it had water in it. Again, I was not and I wasn't much better at woodwork.
So when you left though, what was your first job? What did you do? Did you?
Well, I sold papers for all the years that I was at school, and even while I was doing my accountancy studies.
So you became an accountant?
Yes.
Okay, so I know that you had engineering and the robot printing in the years when I lived in Perry. I knew you had that.
Yes.
Was that your main, like the 20 or 30 years of your working life?
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it. So they were in Salisbury there? Robot printing was certainly there?
Both in Salisbury.
Okay. So I know you went on the committee, was that late, mid 80s or?
I can't actually remember when I went on it, but or why I went on it, but I was sort of I was a bit disappointed in how we were going, and I thought, well, it's no good just thinking about it. Mm. If you can do something about it, do it.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you were, you did serve under the President Rod Phillips, who of course I think he had Green Valley Stud out there on the road out of Gawler when Brian Turner was the stud master. Of course now it's just a shell of its former self and it's basically just smashed to pieces. But and then of course your close friend Robert Zarella ended up coming on after, didn't he? And he was the president at one stage.
Yes,
and that's when the fun began, didn't
it? He came and wanted to join with me. I said, well, I'm not going on unless I'm president. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't
Donald Trump approach.
I said, well, yeah, that's right.
And what happened?
I didn't want to be wasting my time.
But did you become president?
And Robert came to...
Said he wanted to be the president.
Robert came to out to where I was working a couple of horses at Trevor Kelly's there, and he said, they won't have you as president. I said, well, if they won't have me as president, you can tell them to stick it where they like. Mm-hmm. And he said, and away he went again. And he came back and he said, they'll have me as president, and you'll still be able to do whatever you want to do.
Fair enough.
I said, that's fair enough.
No responsibility, away you go.
Fair enough, and that was what got me working in the trotting game.
Exactly, and in those days that was, the combination of Zarella and Barbaro was legendary, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's when the place was flying.
Well, the place, I guess it's quite strange really when I think about it that we used to be able to have that road closed for traffic to come from the city.
Yeah, for the cups and the big meetings.
For the cups.
And you didn't mention that. Now you want it open to get...
And I've forgotten how many thousand people there were at the end of Dominion, but it was something like 30,000 at Globe Derby Park.
I think, in those days I was probably, I was certainly younger, but I mean I used to do a bit of media stuff and whatever, and one thing about when you and Robert were there, it was people knew what was on. It was a media presence, the marketing, everything. Everybody knew, out the back there, the betting ring, it was packed. Out the back behind the grandstand there, if you want to have a punt, you had to have blokes set up either side because you couldn't run between. But it was just.
It was about 40 bookmakers there for a start.
Yeah, same as happening.
And they were paying. I can remember, they were paying $5 a night per bookie. And I said, well, I can't exactly say what I said, but I told them that it was not enough money.
You seem to think it was a bit short of the mark there, Dom.
Yes, and like about 6 times short.
Yeah. Well, see, now they don't have any, so that's gone. So in those days, what were some of the highlights of the time you were serving the committee and and the club and the industry? What were some of the things that you said? Well, I can remember when Carclew won, or I can remember when Carclew was before the time you were on, but I can remember when Hancock's horse won and all that.
I was there when Carclew won, yeah.
Did you get any money that night, Dom?
No, I didn't.
Graham Silk, the late Graham Silk got some money, didn't he?
Hey?
The late Graham Silk got some money off of Carclew when they bet 66s or something, I believe.
Did he?
Yeah, so someone said, but
Yeah, I don't know, but
taxman said it. Yeah. So when you were there, did you hosted an Inter Dominion? Did it was the last one?
yeah,
Yeah.
we. Well, I think it was. I probably hosted the first one that was held at, and the first, I reckon it was the first and last.
So
That one, we had 30,000 people there.
Yeah, I can remember
And we had reserved standing places.
Yeah, and people would pay to sit at the seats and stuff like that. So you said I think you said your brother Sam, is it?
Sam.
He got you interested in the game. He trained a few, did he?
Well, he didn't get me interested in the game. I think I was always interested in punting. I was mad
punter.
Mad punter.
How old was you when you first punted?
About 6.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So about 6.
I think I had.
Is that why you had the paper round to get the money to pay for?
Well, as a matter of fact, if I'd not been a punter, I reckon the money I would have made out of selling papers would have really helped my career along.
So you didn't. So realistically, your passion in the industry was more hunting and social and promotions and whatever. It wasn't really. The horses were just an on-shoot of that. Would that be right? Or
the horses are an on-shoot. It didn't matter to me. It could have been dogs racing, but the horses were special, and I guess it was also you could see that trotting was going backwards.
So how long is this? This is like 20 years ago?
What I mean by there, by shifting out the Globe Derby, it was a big risk because you had to train people who were used to hopping on a tram or a bus
to go
in the city,
so you
being at Morfordville
in the city
10 minutes.
Yeah, or Wayville in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've taken the product away from the people, which is... So would you say that decision in hindsight was not the right decision? To take it away from the
there
people?
was no decision we could have made. The decision, the trotting club wanted to close the
board or the club?
No, the
agricultural society.
Agricultural people. They required the Wayville for
other things.
For the show and the time that it took. Not just the time that it took the show.
Yeah, I understand.
But say a couple of months, and at this stage there was, I think the Normans and that the trotting people had started to shift out the Globe Derby.
So they had to build a facility basically.
And they wanted to build the facility.
We'll have to wrap it up there. Be tuned next week when we'll be back talking some more with Dominic Barbaro regarding some of the horses he's been involved in and of course his relationship with his very close friend, the late great Vin Knight.